Well, if there's one person who'll be happy to see the back of 2014, it's Tony Abbott. The Prime Minister has had a torrid end to the year, forced into making concessions, struggling in the polls, and now under attack from within his own party. Nine political reporter Kerry Yaxley sat down with the Prime Minister for a candid assessment.
Prime Minister, you've been in the job for 15 months or so now. What's been the highlight so far?
Well, delivering on some of our fundamental commitments has been the highlight. The boats have stopped, and that means hundreds of people are no longer dying at sea. And repealing the carbon tax means that every household is $550 a year better off. So they've been the highlights. We inherited a mess. We've made a good start. There's a lot more to do, but this is a government which is on track to get the budget under repair, to deliver a stronger economy with more jobs and more prosperity for everyone.
How has the job challenged you, or how has it surprised you? How does it differ from what you thought it would be like?
I spent many years as a senior minister in the Howard government. I was the leader of the House of Representatives. I was very close to John Howard, so I saw it up close and personal. But there is a big difference between being a senior minister and being the person with whom the buck stops. Everything you do, everything you say has consequences, and I guess you've got to be endlessly conscious that what you do matters, and every day what I want to do is what matters for the people of Australia to create more jobs and more prosperity.
At this point, 15 months or so into your Prime Ministership, can you say that you have been the type of Prime Minister that you wanted to be, that you set out to be?
That's a good question, Kerry. I mean, yes, but that doesn't mean that there haven't been hard days. I guess the hard days test you, but nothing worth doing is easy, and no one ever said being the Prime Minister of Australia was a doddle. The challenge is to respond intelligently and sensitively to the circumstances in which you find yourself.
By your own admission, you've had some ragged times recently. Do you ever worry that you will be a one-term Prime Minister?
Well, it's not about me, Kerry, it's about the Australian people, and my challenge, the challenge for all of my colleagues, is to be the best government we can be. Not to fret over polls, not to worry about headlines, but every day to be the best government we can be. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't learn from things that might have been done better, but every day the focus has got to be on doing the right thing by the Australian people, building a strong and prosperous economy for a safe and secure Australia. Now, on the broken promises thing, one broken promise was obviously the ABC cuts. During the election campaign, Labor was saying that the deficit would be $18 billion. It turned out to be $48 billion, a $30 billion budget black hole, which the Labor Party created and covered up. Now, when circumstances change, you do have to change your position. So yes, we did break that commitment.
Now, Prime Minister, if I can ask you about the budget update tomorrow, should Australians be bracing themselves for cuts?
No, Australians should be confident that this is a government which has a plan, and the plan is on track. We have a fundamentally strong economy, but for it to stay strong, we've got to get the budget back under control.
And a surplus in 10 years, is that still possible?
We'll come back to surplus as quickly as we can. What you know, this is a government which is serious about a surplus. Labor talked about it but never delivered it. Why do you know that we're serious about a surplus? Because we take savings seriously, and we are prepared to risk unpopularity in order to deliver the difficult but necessary decisions that government has to take.
And just a sort of more personal question, how have the Abbotts adjusted to being, I guess, Australia's first family, if you like?
Well, again, Kerry, it's not about us, and that's not a phrase that we would ever apply to ourselves.
Sure.
I happen to be the Prime Minister, and it's a tremendous honour. It's the greatest honour that anyone in public life can have, to be the Prime Minister of our country, because we are a great country. I'm very lucky that I've got a very supportive family. a very supportive family. You couldn't be in public life without one. There are some pressures on the families of those in public life, but I've got to say that Margie and my daughters handle it very well indeed.
Taking some time off at Christmas?
Just what I usually do. The family will go down the south coast with the group of families that we've been holidaying with for the best part of 2 decades. I hope that the schedule between Boxing Day and Australia Day might allow me to get down to Queenscliff for a surf more often, but in the end, I'm not elected to take it easy. I'm elected to crack on with doing the right thing by the people of our country.